Okay, I'm going to let you start on this one because I think you're higher on I'm higher on some of these teams than you are.
At number 4, at 8-9. So think about that. Only a game under 500. So I'm higher on maybe one of these teams in the division than you may expect. 4th place, 8-9. This is going to shock you. The Denver Broncos.
What? What?
I
making the playoffs?
Yes. I think there is a slight regression. The Denver Broncos last year, the only playoff team they beat was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3. Every other team they beat was a non-playoff team. They beat up on tomato cans, if you will. Bo Nix had a very good rookie year. I think Sean Payton and them are going to have the ability to build on that. They have a great secondary. I love to pick up Barron in the first round of Texas to go along with Patrick Surtain. But somebody has to finish last in this division. And I don't know if they upgraded on the offense side of the ball enough. I like Evan Ingram as a tight end. I still think they need a number 1 wide receiver. I'm not the biggest Cortland Sutton fan. He disappears to me oftentimes in big games. And listen, the Broncos, again, I think they're a good team. I think some of that last year was they had a 4th place schedule. They beat up on bad teams. They were able to beat a bad Raiders team twice. I just think there's a slight pullback coming. If we both think the Patriots and another team in this division are going to be way better than what they were a year ago, somebody has to pull back. And if you also think the Titans or Jacksonville or Indy are going to be better, somebody has to pull back. So for me, that pullback team is the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I can tell you right off the rip, we're going to completely disagree on this division.
Now, in 3rd place at 10-7, making the playoffs as the number 7 seed. That's right. I also do have 3 teams in the AFC West making the playoffs this year, but it is not the Denver Broncos. It is the Las Vegas Raiders, led by Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, Max Crosby, your guy Geno Smith, and Ashton Genty. I think the Raiders have the biggest quarterback and coaching upgrade in the league this year. And like the Commanders last year, who went from Ron Rivera and Sam Howell to Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn, I think going from Antonio Pierce and Aiden Bleeping O'Connell and Gardner Minshew to Pete Carroll and Geno Smith is a massive, massive upgrade.
And they have Kenny Pickett.
And they have Kenny Pickett. And they have Chip Kelly returning to the NFL as their offensive coordinator. I think the Raiders are going to run the football a lot. I think Ashton Genty is going to get abused pretty much like a racehorse the way the Raiders are going to be using him. I think that Pete Carroll's defensive influence is going to be on this Raider team right away. They may not have a lot of household names, but I think they're going to play better just because Pete is coaching that side of the ball, led by Max Crosby, as I mentioned. And there is a team in the NFL that shocks us every single year that comes out of nowhere. Last year it was the Commanders. I think this year it's the Raiders. And that's why I have them and Denver essentially flipped. I think the Raiders shock the NFL world. They make the playoffs.
Okay. I also have the Raiders at 10-7, but not making the playoffs.
Now, at 11-6, the number 5 seed in the AFC, making the playoffs, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I will say, the Rashawn Slater injury concerns me. Whether or not Joe Alt is going to be able to play all year on the left side of their offensive line, that will be a wait and see. Mike Williams retired once they brought him back in camp. They did bring in Keenan Allen, though him and Ladd McConkey, their position sort of seems a little redundant to me. I do love Amari and Hampton out of the backfield. I think he has a chance to have a Travion Anderson impact for this Charger team. They replaced J.K. Dobbins with him. Najee Harris got an order of a fireworks accident over the 4th of July weekend, but he's going to be back at some point to be that sort of ground and pound running back. And in Jim Harbaugh's career, wherever he's been, Stanford, the Niners, Michigan, now here with the Chargers, year 2 is when you really see that emphasis of Harbaugh take off. I don't think Herbert's going to throw less than 4 interceptions in a season again, but I just think the talent is too good there. And Justin Herbert has to make and win a playoff game this year for people to still call him a top 6 quarterback in the league to me, because he's yet to win a playoff game. I keep hearing all this talent about Justin Herbert. He has yet to win a playoff game. He's 0-2. He's played bad in both those playoff games, losing to the Jaguars and the Texans. I need to see more out of the Chargers this year, and I think we do.
Okay.
That leads us to the number 2 seed in the AFC at 13-4. I'm not predicting a fall off. They're going to shake it off, and when the royal wedding occurs next summer between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, they're going to be celebrating another AFC West division title. Listen, the schedule is brutal. The schedule is brutal. They play every art team in the world. I get it, but they're the Chiefs, and I cannot predict them not winning this division until somebody in this division actually shows me that they can beat them. Despite this division having Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, and Sean Payton as coaches, they have the best coach. Despite this division having Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, and Geno Smith at quarterback, they have the best quarterback. I actually think Travis Kelce is going to have a resurgent year. I think he was embarrassed by the way he played in the Super Bowl last year. When Rashid Rice comes back from his 6-game suspension, I think that will open up the offense even more. I suspect Xavier Worthy to have a Tyreek Hill-esque impact on this team this year. I think they're going to throw the ball deep a little bit more, and we know their defense is always solid. So to me, until someone comes and knocks them off their perch, you can pick against them all you want, but good luck doing so.
Okay. So for me, in 4th place and just missing the playoffs, I like Pete Carroll. I'm a fan of Geno. I agree with you. I think they're going to use Ashton Genty like a racehorse. They have Brock Bowers. They have Max Crosby. Yeah, it's the Raiders. I think they'll have a really good season, but not quite enough to make the playoffs. In 3rd place, also with a record of 10-7, and capturing the number 7 seed in the AFC. Yes, I agree with you. Wherever Jim Harbaugh has gone, whether it's Stanford, the 49ers, Michigan, and now with the Chargers, it's year 2 where he really puts his fingerprints on his team. But it's kind of the same question I've had with a few other teams we've already mentioned. Like, other than Derwin James, who do they really have defensively, right?
Khalil Mack is still there. They add some good pieces.
But like,
Kenneth Murray is still there as a linebacker, and they were the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL last year with not a lot of household names.
I understand that, but like when you don't really have like a go-to guy defensively, that kind of concerns me. I want Derwin James to step up and be that, but he's not quite there yet. Khalil Mack for me is past his prime. And with Mike Williams retiring and Keenan Allen being an older wide receiver, I just don't think the Chargers have enough offensively around Justin Herbert. They'll make the playoffs, but just barely. In 2nd place, going 11-6, capturing the number 5 seed. They will not be celebrating an AFC West division title. Their reign as division champions will be over. Patrick Mahomes will start the season, or will start the playoffs on the road, playing in Wild Card Weekend, because that's right. the Kansas City Chiefs are not winning this division this season. I think the Rashee Rice injury, or suspension, will put them behind the 8 ball. I like Xavier Worthy, but I don't know if he's going to have that same effect you expect him to. I don't think it was a one-off for Travis Kelce to have that bad of a game in the AFC, in the Super Bowl, And yes, their defense is going to keep them in games. I get it. And they have Isaiah Pacheco. And maybe I'm making a mistake betting against them, but I just see a couple weaknesses. And like you said, their schedule is brutal. They had to play the Eagle. They have to play the NFC East. They have to play, I think it's the AFC East, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, let me double check on that, so I know I'm not crazy.
I believe it's the South, because I know they play Jacksonville, and I believe they play Houston as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. They play AFC East next season, so yes, they have to play Jacksonville in Jacksonville, which that's a Monday night game. That could energize the Jaguars. We shall see. But maybe I'm making a mistake, but I have the Chiefs finishing second in this division and winning the AFC West and capturing the number 3 seed in the AFC with a record of 12-5. I am a believer. The Denver Broncos are going to win this division. Good luck throwing it against Pat Surtain and Barron, as you mentioned. And I really like Bo Nix as their starting quarterback. Him and Sean Payton clearly were on the same page. I think Bo Nix could turn into Drew Brees-esque. So I really like the Broncos, and I've got them winning the division.
So as you can see on the screen, this is where we completely disagree. So I have the Chiefs winning the division. You have Denver. We both have the Chiefs and Chargers both making the playoffs, different spots in the division. You obviously have Broncos making it. I have the Raiders making it. So we'll see. I think one thing we agree on is the Las Vegas Raiders are going to win 10 games. What I'm interested in is, so you have a 10-win team in 4th place in a division, which I don't think has ever happened in the history of the NFL. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's never happened. And they're not making the playoffs. And I know you already said the Colts are the worst team in the AFC with 4 wins. So that means you think the last place team in the AFC North is going to have more than 4 wins, which means you think a couple NFC teams may have 2 to 3 wins to balance out the schedule. That's the way I see it. So I'm more interested in who in the NFC is going to absolutely stink.
That would be 2 teams. The Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, we're going to get to the NFC in a minute. So, Josh, the funny thing I thought you said about your analysis for the Chiefs was that you're not very high on the Jaguars. You don't believe in them, but you're like, they could beat the Chiefs in week 5. Like, what?
Hey, every season, there's always that one surprise game where you're like, I'm not very high on this team. And then they come out and win a game you don't expect them to.
So, not to spoil anything, we'll get to our week 1 predictions on Tuesday, but I think one of my favorite week 1 bets is Chiefs over the Chargers in Brazil. You give me a full off season with Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh's first game without Rashawn Slater. Well, that's where I'm at with the Chiefs. Any game they're in, you give me Mahomes and Andy Reid for the most part, I think they are going to win. That's why I can't bet against them.
I understand that. And I'm not predicting that Mahomes is going to fall off the face of the earth. But I just think he takes a little bit of a step back this season. I just don't think they have that same explosivity in the AFC. And I know they've gone away from that recently and they've become more of a defensive ball control type of team. I understand that. But, like, with some of the offenses you have in the AFC, like the Denver Broncos, like the Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo, Cincinnati, just to name a few, maybe New England, you got to be able to score points and keep up. And I just don't think Kansas City has quite enough on the offensive side of the ball to do that.
I'll give you a take that I think, here's the thing. If you're right and the Chiefs don't win the division, they won't be a playoff team. That's where I'm at. I think they either win the division or they completely fall off. I don't think that they would be an in-between wild card 10-win team. I think it's like they win the division with 12 or 13 or they go like 8-9.
Interesting. And we've seen Denver has closed the gap on them. I know that last game, Kansas City basically took it off. But even in the earlier game,
they should have beat them. Remember the blocked kick in Kansas City.
That's exactly my point.
Again, like I like Denver. I just think you got to go bold. You got to pick some teams. And you're going bold the other way, and I'm going bold another way. Like, I think Denver has this range of, like, they could win 8 games, they could win 12 games.
You know what's crazy with the Broncos, though, is, like, it was just a couple seasons ago, they got 70 dropped on them.
And their defense has been, like, top 3 in the league since that game, not even since that season.
That's exactly my point. Like, you know, after that game, we were all like, what the hell? Fire the defensive coordinator.
And that was the height of the Mike McDaniel era. The Dolphins, the weird thing is the Dolphins have never been the same since that game. The Broncos have been better since that game.
Yes. And like I said with the AFC East, Miami's just a dumpster fire. I mean, I think this Brian Flores court case is actually going to affect them too.
Okay. So the AFC North hosts your team, the Cleveland Browns. The question America has for you, Josh, how bad is it going to get in Cleveland this year? Let's go to the AFC North.
So I do have the Browns finishing in last place, but I actually have them going 6-11. So
that's the most optimism I've heard about a Browns team this year.
They'll find a way to win games that they should and pull wins out of their ass. Like when San Francisco came to Cleveland back in 2023, me, along with basically everybody else, thought the 49ers were just going to steamroll the Browns. And yet, Jake Moody misses the kick, and the Browns handed San Francisco their first loss of the season. And I believe that was the week where your Eagles went to the Jets and lost.
Yes. Oh, my God. Don't remind me of the 2023 NFL season, please.
Too bad.
The Browns made the playoffs with Joe Flacco, and the Eagles collapsed. Unbelievable.
Yes, I know. Flacco Mania is going to be running wild. We'll beat the Bengals again in Cleveland. I know we didn't last year, but we own Joe Burrow. Look, we pulled wins out of our butts against both Baltimore and Pittsburgh last year, in Cleveland, and I don't know. I think we go 6-11. What can I say? In third place at 8-9, which would put Zach Taylor very much on the hot seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to flip third and second. Okay.
Hey, I don't have second making the playoffs, and yet they still get to the magic number of 10. because Mike Tomlin's just good at that.
Wait, you have 2 10-7 teams that aren't in the playoffs? How is that possible?
Oh boy. That's because I have the Chargers at 10-7 making the playoffs. I have the Chiefs at 11-6 making the playoffs. I've got the Patriots.
And you have New England at 11-6, which means, as I said, somebody in the NFC has to win like 2 games.
Well, I have the Saints going 3-14.
Okay, a little bit of spoiler right there. I don't understand the math, I guess. I'm trying to mathify this. It doesn't make sense.
And I have the Cowboys going 4-13.
Well, thanks for spoiling it.
Anyway, so yes, I have the Bengals in 3rd place. Their offense is going to have to score like 40 points a game because their defense is trash. They have Trey Hendrickson and
Shamar Stewart. They drafted a bunch of guys on the defense side of the ball. Their defense not going to be as bad as you think they are this year, just by math.
I still think their defense is going to be hot garbage. And they always get off to slow starts in September. It's like they're allergic to September games or something. Like, did you expect them to lose to the New England Patriots at home in week 1 last season?
No, they were my survivor pick, and that was the difference between them making and missing the playoffs.
Yes. And back in 2023, they started their season here in Cleveland, and we destroyed them. Again, they are allergic to September games. I know they went on their magic carpet ride to the Super Bowl, which I correctly predicted they would get to the Super Bowl that season. So another pat on the back for me. But so maybe I do know what I'm talking about. But that being said, yes, they have Joe Burrow. Yes, they have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. But because Joe Burrow is going to be asked to do so much and their offensive line is still like a turnstile, I can't see them winning more than 8 games. I can't. And then I'm actually going to adjust their record a little bit, and they're going to actually they'll finish a game over 500. I just adjusted their record now.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers will come in and do something. I don't know what that something is, because who knows what Aaron Rodgers does? But they still have TJ Watt, who for me is a top 3 defensive player, if not top 2, at least. It's always between him and Myles Garrett.
There's a guy in Philadelphia who has something to say about that this year.
And a guy in Green Bay now who will have something to say about that. But it's usually between TJ Watt and
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, thank you. And I think the Steelers are going to be able to beat the likes of the Browns and the Bengals. At the very least, I think they split with Cincinnati. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore beats them twice, though. But this is Mike Tomlin. If he doesn't finish it over 500, maybe he had an allergic reaction or something. I don't know. But at 9-8, I have the Steelers finishing 2nd, so just a little better than the Bengals. And then capturing the number 2 seed. Because they lose week 1 against Buffalo in the battle of MVPs, I have the Baltimore Ravens at 13-4.
Okay. So we disagree a lot on this division. Record-wise, placement, almost everything. The only thing we agree on is the Browns are finishing in 4th. I have the Browns in last place in the AFC. With a grand total of 4 wins. They go 4-13. So I would be more optimistic.
You have the Browns finishing with the same record that I've got the Colts finishing with.
Yes. I would be more optimistic about this team if not Joe Flacco, not Dylan Gabriel, but Shedeur Sanders started week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't care how he looked in preseason. He was out there with firemen. And I don't care how Dylan Gabriel looked in preseason. Dylan Gabriel is shorter than me. He can't play quarterback in the National Football League. I don't care what anybody says.
Sorry to cut you off, but I actually really liked Dylan Gabriel coming out of the University of Oregon. I thought he played really well last season with the Ducks. And I agree, you can't put a lot of stock into what happens in preseason. But from what I saw, I thought he played very well. And I liked it when the Browns drafted him. And you could tell when they showed the shot of Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, and some of the others in that room, when they drafted Dylan Gabriel, they were all excited, high-fiving, hugging. And when they drafted Shedeur, they were all like...
Yeah, you know what the conversation around Dylan Gabriel playing well in the preseason reminds me of DeShone Kizer in 2017. And it turns out DeShone Kizer wasn't an NFL quarterback, and he played great in preseason. He lit the league up. Some Browns fans actually thought they had a franchise quarterback. So I think this team is garbage. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry to tell you that. I think the team is garbage. I think Joe Flacco gives you absolutely no hope. I think Joe Flacco is a washed dinosaur in the weeds. I do not think you guys beat the Bengals week 1. I think the Bengals know they need to get off to a fast start. I think they will make a statement in week 1 by stopping the Browns. I hate to tell you this, in Huntington Bank Field. And I think Myles Garrett is going to be looking at his bank account with $40 million going, who cares? I got $40 million. This team is an abject disaster failure in the locker room. And yeah, I'll tell you something else completely off the rails about the Browns overall. You know what even more concerns me about the Browns this year? The fact that there was a report on Friday that Deshaun Watson may play this season.
I did hear about that. There's a chance he could come back by week 8.
What is the actual belief? I almost said the F word. I restrained myself.
I'm going to. What in the actual fuck?
If Deshaun Watson plays this year for the Browns, the fans should boycott the stadium.
I might do that. If Deshaun Watson comes back, I'm sorry, I might boycott my video collaborations for this season.
So that's where I'm at with this team. I think the organization, I don't respect this organization. They are getting to Dan Snyder, Washington level, in my opinion. Jimmy Haslam, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski. If you ask me, I know you probably disagree with me on this, but they all need to go. I'm sorry. Start fresh. You need a, and I'm not even, we'll talk about this on Tuesday when it comes to Arch Manning. I don't know what to make of it yet. You need something. You need something to ignite this fan base. And me, the one guy that can do it is Shedeur freaking Sanders, because everybody's rooting for the kid because he got blackballed by the NFL in the NFL draft.
I understand. So I understand what you're saying with Stefanski and Andrew Berry, but Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there. I've liked the pairing of him and Andrew Berry together, but it's the Haslams that need to go. Bye-bye. Sell the, again, excuse my French, but sell the fucking team. Jimmy Haslam is running this team like he's Jerry Jones, but he's not, going around and talking with reporters and all this, but he is so hands-on with this organization. It makes me want to rip all my hair out. It is ridiculous. And because I don't care what the reports say, the reason we drafted Shedeur is because of Jimmy Haslam. I don't give a damn what the reports say, if it was Andrew Berry's idea or not. It was all Jimmy Haslam.
I agree with you on that. Okay. I'm going to make third place quick. 9-8, status quo, Pittsburgh Steelers.
So we agree on the record since I adjusted it.
Yes. They will go 9-8. Aaron Rodgers will play okay. I'm not buying into the Aaron Rodgers that I bought in with the Jets and got fooled by last year. Josh, I'm going to tell you something. You may agree with me. The Pittsburgh Steelers are just the New York Jets with better infrastructure. That's what they are. Think about it. When Aaron Rodgers was with the Jets, what do they have? What do the Jets have? Defensive coach, 1-star wide receiver, good defense. What do the Steelers have? Defensive coach, 1-star wide receiver, good defense.
Yeah.
The Steelers are the definition of mediocrity. I don't believe in DK Metcalf having this out-of-body experience in Pittsburgh where he's going to all of a sudden become a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I think he's really good. I don't know how much success he has with Aaron. I think Jaylen Warren's a decent running back, not great the way Breece Hall is. I don't understand the Jalen Ramsey, Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. That one never made any sense to me. I think Minkah's the better player. I don't know what the Steelers are doing. They paid TJ Watt, and now they're even more expensive on defense, and they will go 9-8, and they will miss the playoffs, and whoop-de-doo, Aaron Rodgers goes into retirement, and then they still don't have a plan at quarterback. Who cares? The Steelers are a waste of my time at this point. I don't really feel like talking about them.
Yeah, I agree. They'll go 9-8, whoop-de-frickin-do, and let's see what they have next season with Will Howard as their starting quarterback. There you go.
At number 2, this is where we're going to vastly disagree.
You have the Bengals.
No, I do not.
You have Baltimore?
At 10-7, making the playoffs as a wild card.
Lamar Jackson?
I think there is a slight regression coming from Baltimore.
What?
Their schedule.
Explain this one, Mr. Lewis.
Their schedule is ridiculous. Let's start there. Look at the teams on this schedule. If you go through the Ravens schedule right now, take a look at it. So week 1, they have to go to Buffalo. Very hard game, right? The Browns they'll beat in week 2 at home. Week 3, they play the Lions. I'll give them the edge at home. But then the following week, they have to go to their kryptonite in Kansas City. Am I picking them to win there? No, I am not. So that's already a 2-2 start at best, in my opinion. Then they have to play the Texans, who I think they could beat at home. But then they play the Los Angeles Rams. And I don't know what to make of the Rams this year, but the one thing I do know is the Rams, that's a preseason schedule, I believe.
No, you're right. Here's the regular season schedule. So at Buffalo, week 1.
That's a loss.
Cleveland, week 2.
Win.
Monday Night Football against Detroit.
That's a win.
That's going to be a really good game. At Kansas City.
That's a loss.
Houston, week 5.
Win.
So this is the game you're on right now, week 6 against the Rams.
This is the one that I have them losing at home. They always lose a weird one at home, like the Raiders last year, week 2. This is the one I have them losing at home.
If I remember correctly, they lost the last. Oh no, they beat.
No, they won on the walk-off kick return.
You're right. You're right. Week 7 is their bye week.
Yep.
Week 8 at home against Chicago.
I have that as a win.
Okay. Thursday Night Football at Miami. That is an easy win for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson will run all over the Dolphins. At Minnesota.
I have that as a win.
Okay. At Cleveland.
That's where I have them, like you said, shockingly losing. This is a shockingly bad loss for the Ravens. The Browns with Shador at quarterback. Shock the Ravens.
Okay. Week 12. Jets.
That's a win.
That's a win. Easy.
Thanksgiving night against the Bengals. That's a win.
Okay. I love that they put this game on Thanksgiving in Baltimore. They always put on a show, these two teams. Yes! My favorite rivalry in the NFL.
And that's a win. So I give them a win there. This is where I give them a loss. at Cincinnati, second time in 3 weeks. I think they split the season series.
Okay.
New England, that's a win.
New England could be a tricky game for them, especially if the Patriots are fighting for a playoff spot like I have them.
It could be, but I'll give them a win.
Oh, I'm circling this game.
This is where I
cannot wait.
This is where I give them a loss.
I cannot wait for this game. I'm not predicting this to be the Super Bowl, but it very well could be a Super Bowl preview. I am not going to lie.
So that's where I give them a loss. And then at Pittsburgh, week 18, I give them a loss. I think they'll split with Pittsburgh. It could very well be Aaron Rodgers' last game. So that's how I get them to 10-7, Josh.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything crazy. I think there is a slight regression coming.
Okay.
Now, the division winner at 11-6, the team who you said their defense is hot garbage. It will not be this year. It will.
Yes, it will.
To the middle of the pack, which is all they will need, the Cincinnati Bengals, who will be the number 3 seed in the AFC. I think I forgot to mention I have the Ravens as the 6th seed in the AFC.
So here is the Bengals schedule.
So let's go through it again. Here we go. Week 1 at Cleveland. I already said that is a win. They will get off to a good start in September.
I have them losing that game. Not even because of my fandom. It's because, again, they are allergic to September games.
They will not be this year. They will get off to a hot start. So that's a win.
Okay. I have that as a loss. Week 2, we both have that as a win.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Week 3 at Minnesota.
I actually give them a loss here. So that'll be a loss. They'll go to 2-1.
Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson. That is going to be must-see TV. Okay?
Before at Denver. I'll give them a loss there as well. So 2-2.
Okay. I have them losing this game as well. At Minnesota, for me, I think Minnesota has a little too much firepower, and they have a defense. So I will give them a loss. So I have them starting the season 1-3. You have them going 2-2. Week 5, Detroit.
This is where I give them another loss at home. I think the Lions are more physical.
I agree. Another loss.
I give them another loss. They start 2-4. So now you're going to start seeing the wins pile up here.
Pittsburgh.
At home, I give them a win.
Okay, I agree. Jets, that's a win.
Win.
Okay. By the way, I like going through these schedules with you. This is fun. We should do this more.
Go on. Week 9, Bears at home. I give them a win.
I think that's going to be a tricky game for them, but I would agree. I think they win. Bye week.
Bye. Now, at Pittsburgh, I'll give them a loss. And then
okay. You got them splitting with Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Okay.
New England at home. This is the revenge game from week 1. This is the game they win.
I have them losing this game.
So that to me is the big difference. This is the go either way game that I have them winning because this is the revenge game from week 1 a year ago.
I have them losing. I think New England is going to be a very good team this season. Baltimore, they cannot beat the Ravens. I have them losing.
At Baltimore, I give them a loss.
Okay. So we agree on that Baltimore. Week 14.
This is the one that shocks you. I give them a win here. I think they go into Buffalo. Remember 2 years ago when they went into Buffalo and stomped them? I think they are built to beat the Bills.
I think they have an advantage because if I remember correctly, the Bills are not playing on Thanksgiving this season, correct?
No, they're not.
Okay. So to me, that gives Cincinnati an advantage because that means they will have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all of the next week to get ready for the Bills. So advantage Cincinnati. So as much as I like the Bills, I think Cincy also wins this game.
Okay.
Just wanted to add my own analysis on that.
Versus Baltimore, I give them a win. So again, I think they split with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I'll give them a win at home.
Okay.
At Miami, I'll give them a win.
Yeah. Oh, for Baltimore, for me, Lamar just always finds a way to beat them. I think Baltimore sweeps them.
So there's our differences, Josh. You think Baltimore sweeps them, and you think New England beats them?
Yes. All right. At Miami, but I want to finish this off anyway. At Miami,
is a win.
We both have that as a win.
Arizona, I'll give them a win.
This is gonna be a tricky game because
Arizona going outside in December. Don't want that for Arizona. If it was in Arizona, I think it would be different. And then I'll give them a win at home against the hapless Browns at that point in week.
Yeah, so I think they'll split with Cleveland. They'll get swept by Baltimore, split with Pittsburgh.
So I had them sweeping Cleveland and splitting with Baltimore. I mean, there's our main difference. That's why I have the Bengals, though, at 11-6, making the playoffs as the number 3 seed, winning this division over Baltimore. Though, spoiler alert, when we get to the AFC playoffs, I have these two meeting up again.
Okay. By the way, I'm enjoying sharing the schedules of these teams with you. We need to do that more often.